Hello? I found some spooky tunes. What do we shall turn it off? Okay, okay. I vaguely remember a festival that we're supposed to be doing today. I'm not sure. Pancake, hello. Hi, Pancake. How are you today? Happy Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Spooky cute game time. It's very quiet. Maybe I shouldn't have turned the music off yet. Okay. It's back. I think we left off from having a fight with Rolo. And we're about to go to the festival to meet Rolo and... The best way to start frog noises, yes. I forget the other girl's name. Beck. I think it's Beck. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. What is that? What is that? Oh, I'm concerned. Oh boy. Hold on. Hold on. Hi Mary, hello. How are you doing today? We're watching this thing before we start. Is that too loud? Why does it look so bad? Why? It's a little what? What? Is it too loud? I did. It's max quality.
None of those fools my brother and I devoured even lived to see daybreak. After all, we always have the long nights on our side.
Aw, yeah.
Aw,
Let's
how
go.
cute. If only you weren't so ugly. I think I'm starting to grow fond of you. You're like a rat on the brink
Mommy?
of death. Take a good look at my true power! You're so infuriating! Your death is inevitable, so just die already! Beautiful, powerful demons can do whatever we want! The way you sweat like a pig is truly repulsive!
Ouch. As just her? What about her brother? Is he not in the ad? Just demon girl. Okay. It looks very good. Exciting. Very exciting. Slightly off topic. But cool. Okay. Mrs. Book Lady is going to talk now.
Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rolo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship.
Do we know if this is Edith Finch? She sounds exactly the same to me. And I did play that pretty recently.
Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind.
Festival air. There's a new Tanjiro, Inosuke, and other guy. Other guy. Zenitsu. Is that who you mean? Yeah, him. Zenitsu is my favorite.
He had to find Rollo.
Well, let's go find him then. Hey, he's cool. Don't make fun of him. He's just a little scaredy cat. He loves Zenitsu. Festival day. Oh. Luca? Rollo wanted me to tell you something? What is it?
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head.
A space adventure through, though you needn't buy it. If you be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't... It's a riddle, Luca. My goofy little brother wants you to find him.
Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt.
I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now I need one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. Nezuko's grown. I see. Wait, I need to move myself a bit. I am too in the way. Is it one DLC? Or do you have to buy all of it separately? Let's go! Oh, it's cute. Can I have a doink, please? No? Music. How goes the beetle hunts? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as a and it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Maybe that's it. So is the weird green goo like killing all the bugs? That's not good. Also, it is freezing. It is so cold. Squeaky chair time. Trying to adjust. Okay. So I am assuming he wants us to go to the treehouse, right? At least that's what I think. Or maybe the library? Where the books are? I am not sure. It's so cute. I forget where the library is. There it is. The library, somewhere quiet. Hey, Luca.
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
Kato's so cute. I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle. Oh, it's a series of riddles. I see. Okay. The first. It'll be fun, Luca. Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you? Rolo does go all out, doesn't he?
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
Oh? On planet Farpole, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Kato stared at Luca eagerly.
Get it? Want me to tell you? No, it's okay. Let me figure it out. Alright, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. And if you decide you want hints, the offer still stands. On planet Farpole, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with that. I can tell you one thing, it's not out there. I need to find inside the oh, okay.
There were rarely any actual new additions, simply a variety of existing.
Yes, we read that. Can I go in this door? No. Up here?
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
Once you've got a book, you can either bring it to me or just grab a different one. I didn't read it. Whoops. Nope, not the correct book. Here's a hint. The words I emphasized are important. Issue into fifth? Oh, fifth issue. I am the stupid.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank. Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed.
Whoa.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic, Issue 5.
Yeah.
Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rolo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for this purple light bulb. Parted with his entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, Rolo. Well, they've already had Halloween? What season is it? Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when
Oh,
he
it's
hit
summer,
the glowing word.
Get away with such a
He
grift.
continued flipping.
Only found in grift in grub cart.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it. Grifts in grub carts. Griffin's grub cart. He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand. Brilliant. I guess you're off then. Good luck on the rest of the scavenger hunts. Thanks, Kato. Is that where the bat works? Which is this way, right? I forgot how cute our little walk is. Is this it? Yan, I've got a question for you. What do you think this whole festival is for? The way I figure it, Perennial Harvest is trying to win over the town. Like a bribe, but with balloons. Cynical. I like where your head's at. That's what I assumed at first too, until I eavesdropped on a couple of gossipy clipboards. What if I told you that this whole thing is really a special shindig for a super secret guest of honor? A special guest? I haven't dug that deep yet. Whoever it is, PH thinks they're a big deal. Maybe it's one of the stands over here. Those are drinks. I don't know who Griffin is. I don't remember. Hello? Grub cart. Oh wait. There's a whole nother section over here. is that section? Down? Down? Is it you? Yeah! Hey, Griffin. Did Rolo come?
Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Oh, that's it? Bought and paid for. Enjoy! I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Is it gonna be... Yeah. It's cold. Oh yeah, that's been sitting here for a while. Rolo wanted me to be sure to give you... that one specifically. Well, that's
Luca
just...
tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his
Ew.
teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Oh, come on.
He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
A pickup when you need some pep. Near the fountain up the step.
Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
Ew, he ate it cold? This is getting to be a whole thing. I had a cold corn dog the other day. It was not good. Very, very sad. I'm assuming we go up here. What? No. No, oh my god. Stay still. Hello? There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. That's way below my pay grade. Hi, Cubone. Hello. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. Are they gonna sing? Rolo owes me one.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
No, it's still pending? Oh no. What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task, a friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard. Hard. Yeah, you have to use Jabono for now. I feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. What takes flight but has no wings, your final task of friendship brings. The treehouse, the rocket ship in the treehouse. Takes, oh, never mind, he's right there. It's balloons. Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And the corn dog? Yep. Well then, I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you've earned this.
Rolo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Light. Thanks. You didn't have to go all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it, you were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh, sorry. Now you've apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened with your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend. When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rolo. Still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I am so sorry. Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rolo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Rolo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try to find some info about your mom. Snoop away. Could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait one more day. You know, I've been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. Head to the treehouse with Rolo. What about Beck though? We said we would hang out with her. seems a bit rude. Let's go! Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter.
Oh. I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much.
Oh no.
We both have.
This is concerning.
I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed
But
up the
what's
ladder.
that about? I'm concerned. Oh, we tied the balloons to the rocket. What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this is the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Whoa,
Luca
whoa.
was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
Festival seems nice. What was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue.
Huh?
A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Uh-oh. Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks.
It was not fireworks.
Chat.
It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend.
Chat.
Something as old and cruel as time itself.
I'm worried. The happy music doesn't help.
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill.
Excuse me? Dedge? Yeah, I think so.
Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene.
What in the world?
In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end.
I would like a
No,
redo.
That can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities.
good.
I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
Okay. So we did those two. We didn't do those two. And we can do this. Let's try this one. It's a visual novel. Literally. Tickle.
Well, time to bust out the tickles.
Tickles. Hey Tish, wanna see something cool? Yep. Check it.
Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arms.
Oh god. Is Tish gonna fall into the goop now? What the? Tish, is she tickling you? Yep.
Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter.
Aw.
Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had had enough.
Oh, she's gonna fall. Oh, okay, good. Good. What just happened? She seems nice. Sorry for the interruption. I think you were just threatening us?
Iggy's eyes darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered.
Visual novel is awful with different roots. I like it. I think it's a cool idea. I just remembered I have somewhere to be. See you around, new kid.
Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape.
I wouldn't do that. No! No! Beck! Wipe it off, wipe it off, wipe it off.
Beck shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
Oh, okay. It just changed your hair color. Is it bad? Depends. What are your feelings about having a more mature, refined look? Oh God. Wait, we need to go after her.
Chapter 4. The Best Policy.
The best policy.
Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rollo was his primary concern.
So we're still gonna stick around here. Okay. I don't think we can do much over here. I think we have to leave again. Oh. What are you doing out here? And why did a kid with gray hair just run past us in a
Roxy and
panic?
Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
That's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? We were just helping look for Rollo. Luca, I need you to start telling me the truth.
Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling, but this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of time.
In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Rollo and I weren't just playing in Weepwood yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse, but someone was there in a strange suit. And we hid in the dumpster and had a heavy bag dropped on us. And I think it was a body. And so we ran, but we got split up. And I ran home. And it's all my fault. And my best friend may never come back. Wow. Wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
That's not your fault, Luca. Rollo's gonna be okay, I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. But I wanna help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around, I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
Go back to that little treehouse you two like to play in. Wait there in case Rollo shows up. Sound like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. Goodbye. Really believe his story? Or what other option do we have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. Wait at the treehouse in case Rollo shows up. Let's go.
Mr. Nuncree jumped with a start.
The sound effect. Don't sneak up on an old fellow like that. Sorry. Who are you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. The dang thing never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it really. The whole thing's a waste of money if you ask me. Any word from Rollo yet? Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rolo knows these woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics have this whole town worried sick. Antics? We all know Rolo likes to play his little pranks. You think this is a prank? What other possible explanation could there be? He's not playing a prank, and he didn't get lost. Someone took him. I know it. How would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
If there's something you know, something that could help your friend, you need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed.
Oh, the music.
Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
There was a blank lurking behind those eyes. Shame.
There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rolo, maybe he could help.
I feel like that's not the best thing to say.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you? You were with Rolo when he went missing? Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. Do you think this is the guy who's in the suit? The music has gotten all breathy. The dumpster? What were you doing in there? At first we were just looking around. Then someone in a strange yellow suit came and dumped something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You got scared by some garbage? Well, that's why you don't go skulking in someone's dumpster. But it wasn't garbage. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just some trash. Well, there was a name tag. It said deep engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said that. No!
A deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
He's going to kill us. Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
I knew it. But you Van Horns just can't help yourself, can you? You were so close to being done with this.
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
Oh no. What are you doing? It's out of my hands now.
The door latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
As secrets?
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim.
No.
Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait.
Oh my gosh.
No. This isn't the end.
No.
I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
But all I have is shame for that one. So... we can do break here or flight here. Let's do this one. Oh yeah. Flight or flight? We're going to
Luca drew
run.
himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches.
Oh, smart.
He
Go!
looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr? Would love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads then. This way. We'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice.
Oh.
Chapter 5.
So when it was saying it was still chilly for summer, they weren't kidding.
Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Whoa. That was actually... Okay. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with this winter wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home. Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Is that Bozo Kerr? I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods. No, Kerr has it? And not Rollo?
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom was a handful.
Luca winced,
Uh-oh.
shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
Gotta keep moving. What did he do to our mom? This looks like broken ice. Okay, we can't go that way. Uh-oh. What's the readout? Sitting just about 250k Kelvin. It's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Still within safe range. It may be spreading, but it's under control. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. Yeah, that's concerning. What's all this? Wait, so we just came back from our house? That was the area our dad was buried, so we skipped the area where our house is. Hard to say with all the snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out the letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into the wood. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. So we should throw something? Snowball! Yep. Welcome to Beacon
Pines. The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines. How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic, yeah. It's very snowy, yes. The puddle we fought at before. It was cold too. Maybe all this leads to one source? You think it's related? What is going on? We're gonna get some answers. Let's keep moving. Oh my gosh. Oh, they gated up the treehouse.
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Looks like the stuff they put up around we put. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Also, weren't there like wasn't there a railing on this bridge? Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim run. Yes, swim run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hinkatomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled, the town is destroyed, and everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. We can't just quit. You do whatever you want. I'm done. It's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
They're gonna freeze. Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort.
Also, isn't that the perennial building? Why is it all broken? Why is all the glass broken?
If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming. Yeah, until I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps? I sort of froze up back there. Hey, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. Well, that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? He was being a jerk. You were supposed to be a jerk in response. That's how it works. I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into
Iggy
fights?
shrugged.
Something to do. You're a jerk because you're bored. Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rollo are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that Dinky treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca, with his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. That new girl hasn't even unpacked yet and she likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
Tish is great, but she isn't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist.
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
It must be raining out here? Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow, we'll get to the bottom of all
Luca's
this.
eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? Always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy
This is not
snuggled
good.
in some more.
When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. Aw.
The house smelled of warm bread.
Huh?
Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug.
Oh, it's a dream.
He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song.
Oh, cozy.
A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face.
Uh-oh.
The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind him. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this.
Uh-oh.
The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive.
Uh-oh.
The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see.
Uh-oh.
Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this.
Oh no.
Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs.
Bread! Bread!
Walt turned with a panicked smile.
Hi.
Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs.
You have come in on a very dramatic part.
Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye.
Bread is good, yes.
Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest.
Walt!
His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise?
I don't think you will.
Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise.
Liar.
With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
Walter White from Breaking Bad? Yes.
A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall.
Who's that?
It stood above them, lingering in content, slowly
Oh,
raising
sorry.
one hand above Iggy. It snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
What do you think you're doing? A figure approached soundlessly from the snow. What a cook meth kid.
Luca looked
Yes.
up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me?
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-headed, scarfy-necked furball? Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker from the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? You must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Look, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here, one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Be careful, Iggy. Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Oh? Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold.
Yeah.
Until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe through some travel gate in Leapwood, or we teleport to some alternative universe, or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. This is not our home. We're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much far fanciful. Just give it to us straight, so be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. Original true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here. Well, the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of an engineering to be fair. To be fair or far? But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. We need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor and power. That which would be moved. This looks like Jess and Walt meeting Saul for the first time. Oh my gosh. Hold on 1 second. One second, guys. Icky. At which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. All hiccups, no. As for the innumerable, oh my god, large words. Well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity. A brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is uncover.
Narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. Why do you say the source like that? Why indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they
He
could.
looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. But with a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home,
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simple head west through Dewey Woods.
Chapter 6. The Source.
This is interesting.
Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more.
So Nat's just a character that was made just for that.
As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth.
Oh, so this is our old town. I get it now. I get it. I was a bit confused.
He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow.
So this is actually where his dad's
numb
buried?
hands hit something hard. A headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here, alone in the snow. Dad, I'm sorry. I've ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply. Just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
Uh-oh. Who is it? We gotta hide. With their footsteps. 259k. All out distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? It said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who loved them will never know the truth. Truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey, don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah, come on. It's almost lunchtime. Wait, why do you walk like that? Well, they do know the truth, at least one of them. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on
Luca
graves.
stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Thud. Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover? Who are you playing? Or who are you helping? Sorry. Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah blah blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you acting like a jerk, I should stand up for myself? Yes. Kurt and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Matt mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we should snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. What if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. Gonna make this right, Dad, I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Let's go. It can be awful cold out there in the woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
For real. Well, do I? Now that hurts my feelings. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids, the good stuff. Why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores in Rollo's chicken coop, and you guys made me mad for some reason.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks, so I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an... Wow. What a... Oh my god. Sorry, but you should have seen the look on your faces. Rollo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried them under that tree. When I came back for them later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and tossed them.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Yeah, how do they replicate the town entirely? Like all the plants and everything too? Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over their head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Also, we walked here by ourselves, so that means the town is like right next to it? What? Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? You really think that you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast off, loser. Oh.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
I go. Whoa. I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think that's it. The source. This is the source? It's a dang hole? How do we smash a hole? Uh-oh. How is he not freezing? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kurt? Where's Lolo? I was in line before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats, it's cold. Just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh no, my role is merely to flash out a winning smile and manage various complications. Like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime, and you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smiles are not going to be so winning after we're done with you. There's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
How are you gonna light them? Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in the precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. That's far
Iggy
enough.
plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll hand you these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like
With a
this?
nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Oh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca.
Uh-oh.
Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side.
No.
Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped.
Iggy.
His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
Rilka's child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? Doesn't make a difference, they're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing that look on your face almost makes it worth it. You've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Wow, that was... Wow. Jeez. Long life? Well, if you know, I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phyllis Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
How are they keeping a hold? This guy has to be heavy for them. Oh, can you believe this guy? Oh, we got Hum now.
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Courage, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kurt. You know...
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with this bully. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Dude, this guy is like 11. Let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Ugh. So we're gonna try both paths, obviously, but I don't know which to do first. Refuse or accept? Let's refuse first because it's the first one, and then we'll come
Luca
back.
had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face.
Oof.
That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away.
The founder.
A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Uh-oh. Stream okay? That didn't look good. Hold on. Okay, that was weird. No, it's still doing that. Why am I lagging so bad? But I was fine a minute ago. It's the game. Why? No, anytime I click in the game, OBS says including overloaded, but when I click out, it's fine. Maybe it's just this part of the game. I'll try to click through it. Let's try again. It was literally just that menu, but that's weird. Okay. Accept.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Oh no. Good. Jeez.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. But of course, those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempest glucomane is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time. Doing so requires an unfathomable amount of energy. In a closed system, the energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks make the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
Oh yeah, we've seen that already when we got froze in the treehouse. It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all of this, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Hoyen? You were going to save the world. And then he runs off.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west.
Why did he chuckle?
Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow.
Let's go, Luca.
Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer
to
to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
Are you serious? There's a second game that's not out yet.
Revenge served cold.
Got him.
Second time's a charm?
Maybe it's a joke.
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy
I think it's a
cliffhanger
joke. I think it's a
just
joke.
when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy.
Me too.
No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Thank God. Okay, so we got both of those. Look at the art for that. It's so good. Iggy's face. Dun, 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 dun. We only have one for that. Yeah, I think the last thing we can do is this one. Break.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night.
Oh, does that mean that
Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Beck and Rollo are going to meet? Right? Sure, you can meet Rollo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rollo I'd tell him about...
Luca stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promise you tell him what? Spell it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've got to tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. So in this one, we don't know about the dead body.
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate. Looming mansion. Rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words. You decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. Oh. So we're not going to the treehouse? What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Eris Valentine. Who's that she's talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. Oh, so this is like Gran and everyone, right? As long as everything proceeds as planned. There's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. Couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your past in this and let me handle the rest. Did she say path? I might have read that wrong. I can't wait to see the look on Rube. Oh my god. Can't wait to see the look on that I think, yeah. Rube? What does Rube mean? Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that change is painful. Well, I was expecting shady, but this just flat out super villain talk. You don't mind me asking why? Why are you doing all this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
It's Gran, right? Yeah. Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran
How's she gonna
tousled
get
her
all that hair back
under
in
the face
Yeah.
mask?
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. Don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night.
We can see your hair. Interesting.
Chapter 5. What big ears you have! Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. What were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? Why were you so scared? That was my Gran. That was your Gran? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out here. There. Lead the way. Meet up with Rollo at the treehouse. No way. The last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need to know, anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here, acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
Claire, and would you like my eternal soul as
The
well?
clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
So we have to walk past him. Okay. Interesting. Hi guys. What are you doing down here? Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the perennial harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf, cappuccino with extra foam? Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. Can't wait. Interesting. I'd better not dilly-dally. Gotta get to the treehouse. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further from here. So what's your buddy Rolo like? Rolo? He's Rolo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's trying not to be. Things have been tough for his family since the fowl harvest. It's about time you tell me what this fowl harvest is. It's a kinda long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Oh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. The Valentine grew and grew. Beacon pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharp or Valentine or used its fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a but. Around 6 years ago, Sharp or Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water, or air, or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year, the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. No one knows why? Nope. I take it Rolo's farm got the short end of the stick. Yep, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since perennial harvest came to town. Beacon Pines Reborn Initiative? Yep, first thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels one town over for a week while they Oh, okay. They decontaminated the groundwater. So they probably like copied everything then. We better get going. Meet up with Rolo at the treehouse. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rolo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rolo waggled his head with pride.
I thought he would be angry still. You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test of infiltration. Oh, because last time we waited longer because of the storm. Can't be too safe these days. Takes the ladder. That's the Among Us noise. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. So what now? Whoops. Oh my gosh. Rolo. Oh, are you serious? Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for food. Junk food for junk. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for it. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine's warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
I have deja vu for some reason. So like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters? I don't think so, it seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You kept saying it was a man. You were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. And it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let me go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way home, Beck and I saw Harris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rolo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit, and then you saw your gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine? Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome.
Rolo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town, and their leader is your gran, and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged, but she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. The Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me. After his mom went missing. Did you know your Gran before? No, not really, no. It's been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way. But are you sure your Gran is on the up and up? Are you sure it's your Gran?
Gazed out the window.
Out the window. I'm just saying. It sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your Gran is hiding something. And Pa always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house. If my Gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. We can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in. Okay.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair.
Secret lair.
Summer forged ahead, but the nights
spelled
only
lair.
seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale
Because
starlight,
it is growing
cautious
colder.
to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
Aww. Look, we're so cute. Look at our shirt. What time is it? I'm coming. Rolo, what on earth is that? Huh? That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. You're gonna need a whole lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear. Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, It's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
What is the jam about, also?
He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. Keeps that fire going to every day, Rollo. Drat. It may already be too late. Just think of the amount of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere where Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. The closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first? No dice, it's locked. Well. Look who stands to no reason. And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and hook it in the bush? True. Anywhere else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted and turned toward the kitchen.
Go, go, go! Aw. Alright, Rollo. This is your time to shine. Yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss. But the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey. Let me just yank on this random teacup.
As Beck pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Secrets. Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only two types of people have secret layers. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Whoa. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracy five? Oh wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. Okay.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter.
Walter.
For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor.
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as these are a lot like a cheeseburger. Best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. I had no idea we were in the presence of a premeditated... Yep. And cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed holding up a monocle.
A monocle. Here we go. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Willoughby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. That's kinda disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreate's name? Wait.
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
There's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Willoughby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. The disease or whatever it is progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind. Exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own
Luca,
hands.
staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical. What did he mean enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands?
Luca slammed the drawer shut. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? Because I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town, out of the kindness of her heart. You put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreate has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mom's are both on there, with both question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Paris has a question mark, but that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of that means. Probably means it's probably not good. Or whatever it means, it's probably not good. Excuse me. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution, explosive. And jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? Ooh, we got a new one, fire. She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs, right? Only one way to find out.
Casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries.
He smacked his lips.
A bit of brown sugar and ink. What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jammed gram? It says, last night I used the disguise Harris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. So more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. I'm the bad joke guy around here.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. But every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town, and if we follow
Rollo
it,
carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right to
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on the map has a symbol as the explosives over here. So it's not hiding treasure? A real bummer. Rollo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Uh-oh. Did you just gulp? Did you just say gulp? He said it out loud. This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. He's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was that? No, I heard it too. Oh, there's a cat in my desk. Hi, Gloria. It was the front door, which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark.
But the door is still open.
Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps.
This isn't good.
The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped.
I'm petting a cat at the same
Without
time.
realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the
no.
silence.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump,
Thump. Woohoo.
thump,
Not here to hurt anyone.
thump,
I'm just here to help. Just
thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway.
Uh-oh.
He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
I mean chicken coop.
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Oh, didn't know if I had it in me. There's only one way I could find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, though. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
It's Mr. Tully. Yes.
Chapter 7.
I have a cat. Scratching my chair. Doing.
The interrogation of Hiram Tolliver.
Tolliver.
Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop, bad cop? Good cop, chill, or hard? Well, we'll do chill first.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'll handle this, just gotta play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell rung.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Roller just got a little startled. Rolo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. You kids gave old Harm a good scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it
Luca
even.
glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why were you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my gran up to? If you just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust
Mr.
you?
Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah? So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just, all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town, an archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes,
Luca gestured to the corner.
barrels of explosives? I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an
Luca
explanation.
looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This will all make sense in
He
time.
edged imperceptibly toward the stairs.
He's gonna
as he
lock us in the
spoke.
basement. I have to sneeze. Ugh. Jeez. Ugh. Okay. You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought to...
He punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
light. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights.
Definitely locked
It was
in.
too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there. And let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
They should. Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end.
Damn.
Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement.
Yeah, I
Back
don't think
to
so.
the drawing board.
So, let's try hard cop then. Right? Yeah. Let's see.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times.
He's gonna be a meme.
Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless.
Because he's still knocked out.
Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver.
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face.
What's...
Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who is there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on, just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Lucas' faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or... What to say, we've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance. What, I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
Oh. You've tied me down. How on earth could I dance? With your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. So you're in cahoots with Gran. Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival? Yeah, keep on. Thanks for the pin. Good lord.
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
Oh no, we've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's
His
where
voice faded to a whisper.
town began. Where it all began. What's the Operation Spark?
With
What is
that,
Operation
Mr. Tolliver
Sparkplug?
passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Dang, Rollo. I think you went a little hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we'd better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about the source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's get some answers. Kato! This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Oh, Kato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Mrs. Novak sometimes. And they got you working for free? It's quiet, and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for all you? We need a favor. I already told you in Rollo. I can't put you on higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it personal code of consciousness. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring read. Well, they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance.
What are they gonna do? Just leave him down there? I probably would have at least untied him because he was knocked out again, and then he could just leave. He wakes up.
Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives. messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that as the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life, till the read is so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his
Rollo
ears.
shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, and it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name, Beck? And, J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 20 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford? That's my grand's name. Juniper Hartford. Maybe there are two J. Hartfords? Miss Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. So... is that person not actually our grandma? Then? Okay, this is getting creepy. If your gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh, crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be world sick. Okay, let's meet up early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. Also, it's still light outside.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Check on Mr. Tolliver in the basement. So she hasn't walked in here yet. Oh, he's gone. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace?
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be
He
delayed.
flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed? Okay, now I can think. Well, if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, if he doesn't know, I'll need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished his work, was sent to do, and left when he was done. Go to sleep. Plan? Oh no, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself.
The jam!
Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
Sleep, boy. What did you get yourself into? Is she just dragging us and not picking us up? Rest now, and let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival! Where have you been? Rand put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed put me to sleep. Whoa. Sly devil. Sly. I think she's trying to remove him from the question. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. The Grand is nowhere to be found. Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Hello, Beacon Pines. Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. So, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be here. It wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause. Befitting such a great man. Even that's more than the old god deserve.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Poor Gus. Great, where was
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it from our mayor. For our mayor. What a great turnout. Well, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. I'd be ashamed to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Of course. Community, conviction. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It is inexplorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip, which brought me to a small town, which would change my life
Mr.
forever.
Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential, and it was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the fall harvest was an unshakable conviction. There is a cat that wants pets. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. I think I read that wrong. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that there were... Sorry, there's a cat attacking my leg. The festival has a symbol of our community.
His voice began to build to
I don't know
a
why I can't read
crescendo.
that. We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And this is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. There it is. Are we all gonna freeze? What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Throughout all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town, and so it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits. Yeah. And they all froze to death.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything!
True.
Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
No.
No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
There you go, stream again. I don't know why sometimes when I'm going through the book, it ruins things. Now we can be sly. Okay, that's the only one we can do.
They'd run the class. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
It's Beck's turn.
With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
Huh? What's going on here? You're the mood little girl? Please call me Beck. Sorry about all
Mr.
this.
Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions? Operation Sparkbug has us all on edge. Guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both...
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
Destroy the evidence?
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing...
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her, though. Anyone to find out we're going to destroy the source. We both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
Sure you can finish this up on your own? You were trusting me for a reason. Then leave the rest to me. There's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelves. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an old phrase in a perennial harvester nation. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. We have password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work on that. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shop. All he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
Password, Rolo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about the candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmissions?
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned.
Oh, sorry. We just need to find the hidden meeting. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered. Would it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of each letter is a number thing? So U would be 21, N would be 14, A would be... Oh. That's an anagram. Uncreed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rolo with amazement.
Rolo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's nude rug store. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Here we go! Oh. Hello. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? No? He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Good luck! Oh. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? Had a few more details locked down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is the Inspited Town Festival really about?
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Harris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kirk came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. It's just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our backyard. They were dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When all this inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future, or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always just be a Gus. Good night. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. True. Oh?
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Black licorice. Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still here? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? Might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. I hate licorice. Though, we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. Whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. That is what that is, right? Am I reading that right? You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. Okay, bye! Well, he's right, it's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Well, this, right? Yeah. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? I mean, underground secrets. Password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Here we go.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground.
Whoa.
The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. I knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth. Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the transdimensional conduits from Hinkatomic issue 12 were real? Well, at one point or another, you said that about every technology ever discussed in Hinkatomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on them. It does. Mining Operation Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer, and a series of tubes. Plot always says you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Okay, what's this one say then? Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff? Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. That's because it is. The suit has a broken mask. So we have found our mystery warehouse creeper. We've at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like an uncreed and talks like an uncreed, let's not jump to conclusions. I'm just saying. That's because it is an uncreed. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hinkatomic to know my way around sci-fi
Roll's
tech.
hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Meeny, meeny, miny. Rolo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even move yet. What was that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Let's get back. Uh-oh. Awesome! You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. I don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. We don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of us. That's a lie. It's true, I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped me, he helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. My father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was it's a lot easier to help ourselves, help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I needed to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you forced my hand?
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know. My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. But let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted in today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. Doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger. I don't know. She had a map of the mark on the fountain in town square. Fountain? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
He knows about the source. What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... He's going to freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So, you're totally following me? Totally. See you on the other side. Go! You good? Yep. I love this town.
Chapter 8. The
Let's
cold,
go.
hard truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along.
Thank you for the head pats, Pancake. Thank you.
She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Oh, I see. That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Ew. Any idea where they are? Or where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got any of us. Oh, it doesn't look like it got on any of us. I didn't feel like we traveled that far. So where did it all go? Oh, the liquid. He's still talking about it. This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We gotta catch up with Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Let's go. Looks like familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear it off with the snow? No time, Nuncreed's getting away. Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed in all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like a sort of frozen replica of town. I got it. It's so obvious now. Nuncreed is an alien, Rollo. Stick with me here. This species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective: kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pine citizen of choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out.
You'd think if, you think they would have this place, like, guarded. A lot
She
better.
held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you. I know what you've done. And you and your co-conspirators. Gran? What is happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over the torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very convenient that your way just happened to lie in your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
Oh boy.
Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions.
It
The
should.
wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
Begin to weep or hum? Well, we'll try
And in the
weep
stillness,
first.
he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This will all make sense soon, Luca. And everything will go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can hide behind those. You can't hide behind those people any longer. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch
And this is
into
where
the
we all
deep
die.
darkness.
Go.
She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole,
Oof, yeah, oof.
punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
Yeah, this is not good. Oof. Looked cool, though.
Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror.
Oof.
There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end.
Not the end.
Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
So now we will hum. Look at the art. Oh, it's so good. I want to look at them again. I love it. So this is the last one, I think. Well, we haven't used the torch one yet. I do remember having that.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody.
Oh.
It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother.
Don't have any perfects yet, do you? I don't think so.
Shivering in the raw snow,
Don't
he
think
began
so.
to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together.
Wait, this still doesn't explain why it says that her gran is dead in the obituary.
She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note. Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? Gran is our mom? Or mother?
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes,
Oh,
trying
she's all
to see
gray
more
because
clearly.
of the goop?
He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom?
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? Thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
Ow. You're a smart man, Joseph. Thought you'd piece it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right there, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. How could... You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. And what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. A cold hard
Luca
truth.
gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. Let's go! Now there's just a whole bunch of explosives sitting down there. Don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago.
Oh.
Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest.
Do we get to see what she looks like?
She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant.
Flashback episode? Yeah.
It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen.
Liquamen.
There
That's
were
how you say
dozens
that.
of them. Every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
No. So we don't get to see what she looked like before. Change is a choice. And Tickle Pink that we will all be making the choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? What? Eleanor. This town has a dangerous secret and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Working on your future. No, thank you. Imagine such a thing. It's absurd. And just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean up this place. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, Mr. Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gathered in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her, she has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. Now the whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable, so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two, Time and Clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is... ooh. Question. Is he the dead guy? Has he... like... been reverted to child form?
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. Yep. Oh, I want them to see this. He is the dead guy. He is. Ah, the ever even quite the thorn in my side, like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr? Yes, sir? It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that arousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You've done quality work for me, William. And I look forward to we agreed on.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Compensation words. Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense of the formalities from here on.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents.
Wait, he can just transform from big to small?
A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
I knew it! I didn't know it until last minute. I actually had no idea.
A hushed horror gripped the crowd.
Was that ready to drink? I guess so.
This is a story about change.
Wait, what? His clothes changed with him? It's a whole different outfit. What? Ah, so you didn't see that coming. But
Sharper examined his new hands.
well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. The festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? It's a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious and malice. I'm glad you're back so I can tell that to your face. You're destroyed this time. I ain't gonna let you away with it again. Get away with it. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr?
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward. Will anyone else have something to
A
contribute?
helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools? You people should be celebrating my return. You clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy? Gave you both the greatest gift of a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourself in my absence. Squandered. So, to say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse. A son who is completely hopeless? Or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down? Parents who fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I've been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's alright, Galileo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Rude, Jesus. Now then, where's Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense, the people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because you left me no choice. You always had a choice. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter, cheer up, you are about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor, desperate to recapture his youth. He played this part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. All those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again, and I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of perennial harvest? Ah, do you think that puffed up, blather skites would have accomplished all of this? Lon, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride.
Oh boy.
He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk? Why did I say blick? This town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow, you've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Monisquesco. Patrick. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It really was the role of a lifetime. Wait, this Bill Kerr was a patsy the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? That's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know that each and every person in this town most fear. Their biggest fear. Worst fear. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of the line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you, the young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. Well, that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do, given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought. But well worth it.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer.
Oof.
The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Okay. Malice. Okay.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
Yes. I just want this all to be over. Of course, I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. So Roxy, I'd check for Rollo at the treehouse.
Luca twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Of course. Luca? You know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. There's these guys. Festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree, this is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. You know that festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It would be a shame if someone...
The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
Oh, we've heard them talk about that before. Oh, yes, we haven't seen the moms in a while. Nellie Modwell. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff roll. I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. So creepy. We can look at this again.
For a town that saw few visitors, the welcome was perhaps more grand than necessary.
I think we've read that before. Are we supposed to be going to the treehouse? I forget. Rollo? I guess so.
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rollo! Rollo, wherever you are, I hope you're
Luca
okay.
felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace.
That didn't look very comfortable. Wait, oh yeah, this is the, okay, we're waiting. I remember.
Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source.
Sorry?
He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket, a keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. You made me proud, Buckaroo. Luca turned to face him. Dad, what is this place? A warm grin grew across his father's face. A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together. Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. That's up to you. Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real? Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me. Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. And you? The doppelganger choked back tears. I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense? Through his tears, Luca laughed. I think so. His father pulled him in for an embrace. Time to go, Buckaroo. Luca was startled from his dream by a
Lucky.
banging on the floor.
Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open.
What is it?
Chapter 5. Dangers big and small. Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight.
Is it, Iggy?
Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Oh, who are you? Stop right there. Or else. Rolo is big? Who are
The
you?
large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop now or I'll clobber you with a baseball bat. Whoa, take it easy. Luca, you need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rolo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rolo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Huh, uncle? Quit messing around. It's me. That's what I'm saying, pancake. If it's really you, prove it. Flaming chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rolo,
Yes.
only bigger, older, changed.
Ow. What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. What? Where did they take you? Don't know. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made my hands all big. Look.
Rolo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower. But beggars can't be choosers. Rolo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet too? Pa just made me new shoes. Hey Luca, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rolo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo. What did they do to you? They made me drink some sort of green curd? Or crud. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It kind of tasted like... Oh, okay. They flavored it that way because that's Sharper's favorite, I'm guessing. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sort of smashed open my cage and escaped. Oh, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. I had you in a cage? Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome. I'm just glad you're safe now. Luca, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. We may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger.
Rolo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Her hair turned blue. Oh, maybe she dyed it. Hey fellas, what's up?
With a yelp, Rolo dove behind Luca.
Scaredy cat. Did I come at a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened and I need help. I didn't know where else to go. So you're just hanging out here with your large adult friend? Oh no, this is my buddy Rolo. This is your missing friend? One and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know, this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry, you're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So I'll be asking questions. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly little treehouse? I think you mean our silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. And I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luca, this is why we need to improve security around here. Not now, Willow. Like, you said something bizarre happened? Yeah, but
She shot a nervous glance at Rollo.
anything you can say around me, you can say around Willow. This has been a weird day. All around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try to salvage my hair. So I dyed it with some stuff from my chemistry set when my mom gave me. Okay, just need to play it cool and hope no one notices. Notices what? Well, nothing. I was just over here and let me have a look. What in the world did you do to your hair? Just kind of felt like I needed a change. This is going to take forever to grow out. You were the one who said that change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I just took your listen to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work. Tonight? Her and Kurt decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kurt guy seems like a grade A creep. Like, he is. Him and his weird cult of a personality. We're not going to ruin this job for now. It means too much to her. I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to keep her... enough to her to exile her daughter to this podunk town? Podunk? I've never seen that word. This place sucks. These people are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains, you'll get used to it. You can't even pick up a single decent station up on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another peep.
She sighed, and after a
I
moment,
think her hair is
looked
cool.
down at Beck sympathetically.
I also have blue hair. I know nothing is hard, honey. Or I know moving is hard. But that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. And if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair more,
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just shave it off for you. Think of how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it, I actually kind of like this look. Great, we can get back to the story now? Next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom, and I was too angry to sleep. So I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Mr. Kerr, are you there? Mr. Kerr? Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies. I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our lead researcher of deep engineering? Nellie Modwell seems to be integrating nicely. At this very moment, she is working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime before I even had the chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor? Her work must be complete before the festival. I'll make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the community. Immediately, sir? We usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the endgame, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. No loose ends. When she finishes the work, we will either leave the office completely committed to perennial harvest, or she won't leave at all. Perfect. So if I might suggest, maybe we should delay just a bit. Oh, it's just we seem to be rushing into the festival deadline, and rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want what's best for you. I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions, of course. Chin up. You only have a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes. Thank you. Whoa. Yeah. I'm impressed she remembered every bit of that conversation. Just so we're clear, when they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone? Capital murder?
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys knew. Nah, as far as we know, Kurt is the top banana at Perennial Harvest. I sounded scared of this founder guy. We have an even topper banana on the field. What is my mom caught up in? Genius remembering everything. She's got like a, what's it called? I don't remember the actual term. Picture perfect memory. Has she talked about the job much? Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue the work of someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person Beck's mom came to replace? That would make sense. Like it seems like Nellie's predecessor got loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. So we need to get your mom out of there before that festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she come home after work? The creep on the radio said they were going to hold her there until then. So if she's not coming out, we gotta go in and get her?
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this'll help. You have blueprints? Well, it's really just a welcome map for my mom's HP orientation day, but it shows the layout. She sure looks like blueprints to me. Looks like the reception area, there's a big room marked Founder's Office, and has the exits marked. Guys. You have a deadline, you have an objective, you have blueprints. You realize what that is,
Rollo
right?
started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting. This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6.
Okay, I know we're like right at the end, but I think I'm gonna have to end stream because my voice is... it's not doing great. There's probably only a little bit left, so I'll do it the beginning of next stream. And if there happens to be more, that's fine. We'll just do that for the entire stream. It's okay. Next time will be exciting. Yes. Yes. I feel like a lot is going to happen. I don't really have anyone to raid today. No one is live. We're just gonna end here. That's it. Goodbye. Bye, Pancake. And everyone else who's lurking. I'll probably be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.